Hi guys, it's Joanna, and today I am barefaced because it is time for another Chatty Get Ready With Me, wherein I just spill the beans on all of the various media that I have been consuming and enjoying, and whatever other random topics that I want to cover. So for sure there will be some books in here, and yeah, let's just jump right in then, shall we? Alright, so first, what is on my face currently? I have completed my morning skincare. I used the Drunk Health and Vitamin C, I've used the Hylamide Subcute Anti-Age, and moisturizer, so the Creme Lab Water Gel. And I will, if I haven't already, I will be posting a updated morning skincare routine. So I'll link to that down below, but it's probably already up by the time I post this. So you can go find that video. Oh, and I also have sunscreen on, of course. And today I used this LvL Eau Thermale Emulsion SPF 50 sunscreen. Okay, so that's what's on my face right now, and I'm gonna go in with some more sunscreen via my base, which I'm using the number 7 City Lights today tinted moisturizer, because my skin has generally been fairly decent and I don't need, and nor do I want, heavy product all over it. Yes, so this is just a lightly tinted moisturizer. It does not have much coverage, but it does have SPF 15. There we go. So I have recently just finished the book Pachinko, and I pretty much blew through that book in no time flat. I listened to it via Audible, and you know, it's like an 18-hour listen, but you can, on Audible, you know, adjust the speed. So I listened to it on like 1.5 speed, and it is a fantastic book. I did not think I would like it as much as I did, but it's fantastic. So Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. So I did not know anything about the book going in, and so was just completely blind to it. I think someone mentioned it in a previous video and recommended it to me. If so, thank you. I honestly don't recall why I ended up buying that one in my Audible monthly subscription, but yeah, something about it spoke to me, and I ended up picking it up and listened to it, and it was like totally not what I expected. So the book is a multi-generational family saga. It's one of those like epic stories, really, really fascinating, really well written. It starts in the early 1900s and goes through 1989. And the characters, it's based on a Korean family, and the family starts off in Korea in the first generation, but then they have to immigrate to Japan due to various circumstances I won't get into because I don't want to spoil anything. But it was just like a fascinating history lesson from, knowing everything we know now about Korea today, because when they lived in Korea in the early part of the book, Korea was still just Korea, and now obviously Korea is North and South Korea. And this family who left to go to Japan early on in the story, like they couldn't go back to their home because of basically what happened with the Korean War. And it was just, so they're just this family stranded in Japan, which I also didn't know the history of the kind of animosity between Korea and Japan. Specifically, like Koreans and Chinese, like my parents' generation and above, really, really hate the Japanese. Like my dad, for example, is, generally not racist, except he's always been like, do not marry, do not date, Japanese bastard or whatever. And I just, it's hard for me to understand that that kind of animosity, and reading this book and reading the kind of Koreans' perspective of it, it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of the first-hand experience. Obviously I've heard of things like the rape of Nanking and blah 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 and all of the atrocities the Japanese soldiers like committed up against the Chinese and the Koreans back in war times, but it was another thing completely to kind of read the story from this Korean family's perspective and see that struggle described really in a very first-person way that was like very compelling and realistic, and just it made you really understand where some of that animosity comes from. obviously the younger generations, you know, it's different, and the story actually goes through the same thing, because in the last generation in the book you kind of see some of that sympathy and more understanding and openness towards between the different between the Koreans and the Japanese in the book. Anyway, that's like a relatively small part of the book. I would say well, not really, that is a significant part of the book, but another significant part of the book is this, it's very feminist in a way. You know, one of the main characters, her family is what this book is about, but the main character Sunja, her life and her struggle and just everything about that character is so, I mean, it's very, very impressive. Like, she is a super impressive character, and it also just makes me think of my family, you know, even though my family is not, you know, Korean, did not kind of go through that whole experience. They did live in China, and they did go through the communist revolution, and, you know, it was not a walk in the park, let me tell you. And just, you know, one of the main phrases in the book that really struck me was this phrase that the women state, like, you know, a woman's lot is suffering. And I mean, historically, yes, that is so true. And even today, you know, obviously there's still a lot of inequity, which is vastly improved from what the characters in the book had to go through in the you know, throughout history. But it was still just very moving to hear that, and just feel so lucky to be alive in the position that I'm in now, because certainly I don't think my lot is suffering. If anything, I'm actively trying to avoid suffering and making choices that avoid suffering. So yeah, I don't know, it was just, I don't know, it was such a good book. So many themes, so many different themes, so many interesting historical lessons that I just never knew about, and I just highly, highly recommend it. 5 out of 5 for sure on Pachinko. And with that long blabbity blab into Booktube world, I'm back with my makeup. So now I'm gonna put on some blush. This is the Milani. What color is this? Tea Rose. Alright, so that's the book situation. I will, because I love that book so much, I think the next book I'll read or listen to, whatever, is going to be Free Food for Millionaires by the same author, Min Jin Lee, which is like a totally different type of book as I understand it. So what else is new in the world? I will be heading back to Europe, back to London and Spain in a month here. So in the first week of June, I will be heading there for work. Yay! I love going to Europe for work. And then also just taking like a long weekend off in Mallorca. So I'm heading to London and then going there early for my work meeting. So I'll be meeting a friend who lives there, and we're gonna head to Mallorca, which is awesome. I've never been to Mallorca. I'm looking forward to it not being as intense as Ibiza. But oh shit, it's already well into May and I need to get bikini ready. Ah! I don't think that's happening. Oh goodness. So normally I would just be using that NYX brow definer pencil, which I absolutely have been raving about in my recent videos, Get Ready With Me's, just because it's so easy, but it does not last very long at all. You use it up in like a month or 2 maximum. So I'm back right now to my Anastasia Dip Brow, which is an awesome product. It takes a lot more time for me to use it. So that's the issue. But this Anastasia Dip Brow, man, I've had this now for over a year, I think, and I feel like I can easily be using this for 3-4 more years. But it's been so long since I've used this that I don't even really remember how I did it, and I'm having one of those days where I just can't seem to get the eyebrows right. So, oh well, it's good enough, I think. No need to stress too much about that. I guess I'll just do a little bit of eye makeup, and I'm not gonna go too much today because it's just a whatever casual day. I'm using my Tartist palette just because it has a lot of, well, I don't have many palettes first of all, but then this one has just some wide selection of mattes. Good enough there. The main thing that I love to do again recently in all of my Get Ready With Me's is to use some dark eyeshadow and a thin brush to do my eyeliner instead of using a regular eyeliner. A little bit of highlighter, barely imperceptible highlighter using the Candlelight powder from Kevyn Aucoin. Alright, so other stuff that I've been really enjoying lately, I actually binge watched Sneaky Pete on Amazon Prime. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can stream their shows, and Sneaky Pete's like one of their Amazon originals, I believe. And it is just about a con artist. And it's like a fun show. They have 2 seasons, and it's, I don't know, it's just like a fun little mindless show, basically. Some, you know, if you liked Ocean's 11, for example, like those types of heist movies, you'll probably enjoy this. It does have a couple of gruesome parts, but it's generally a more comedic, or at least, you know, lighthearted drama, I guess. And, of course, I've been watching RuPaul's Drag Race, which is the best reality show ever. And then finally, also what is new back on the TV is Handmaid's Tale, which is another great show and also a great book. The show has now kind of gone beyond what the book had, so it's kind of interesting exploring new territory. And also Westworld is back, which I love, on HBO. So just, such a great TV season right now. Too bad I don't have very much time to binge watch TV. But yeah, if you are looking for something to binge watch, I highly recommend Sneaky Pete, particularly if you like those heisty type movies or shows. Alright, one last thing before I go, and that is my lips. So I was sent this Givenchy Rouge Interdit vinyl, and it's such a pretty packaged lipstick, but the other cool thing about it is it's this color. So it's one of these like adjusts to your skin tone type colors. Obviously it's not going to be black lipstick. It goes on like a lip balm, and then it just adjusts to your natural skin tone. I think it's really cool. So it kind of looks like, I don't know, I can't think of a color that looks like this. It looks super natural, but just a little bit darker. It almost looks like, you know, the color of your nipples, for example. It like darkens your lips to match your areolas. So yes, flag me if you must for that comment, but come on. Okay. That is it for my video. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Go check out Pachinko. Go check out those TV shows if you're looking for something to binge and relax with. But I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.